Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to your reading. If you're new here, I am Divine Light and I'm so happy you joined me today. In this reading, we will dive into the energies of your next 7 days with a general overview. We're going to start out with the coffee cup, then I'm going to dive into the tarot, and we're going to do more of like an intuitive tarot and see what's coming your way, what's leaving your life, and what else that you need to know. I'm using here crystal quartz for clarity so you can get the answers to your questions. By the way, if you go on to enjoy this message, don't forget to give some love, hit subscribe. That's the best and the free way to support the channel. And also, if you would like a private reading, I have my email in the description box. Please send me an email and I'll respond to you as soon as possible. Okay, guys, I see tears of joy. Seems like towards the weekend, some of you might experience some good stuff. These tears of joy can be representative of maybe some of your birthdays or celebrations, maybe going away for a small vacation that you will enjoy yourselves. And I see here the pathway is opening, yes. And there's also like a small gift waiting for you. Kind of reminds me of like an egg shape, maybe something which has material value. It seems like coming forward, or maybe you're gonna go there and grab this thing. Okay, let's see what's happening inside. I see there's actually a small mountain forming. Can be the time of like maybe Thursday or Friday. Can be like a mountain forming here. This can be, it's not really a mountain of obstacle. I feel like here you're planting a land. You can see there's a fertile land here and something rising from the ground to protect it. It can be like a dam holding back the water so you can really release the energy of the water, or the water can be emotions, desires when it is necessary to add it onto it. So, okay, something maybe that you're working on, maybe you're on the part of writing it down and planning it out, maybe put detail in it, and then you're going to really start to go after it. But until then, you're building a dam around it so people do not probably rain on your parade, rain on that desire and kill them on the root, okay? And when they're in the seed. I see here there is someone standing on a hill, extremely bright energy and illuminated, and they're actually, you are maybe even becoming a light to some. I see here number 3, letter 8, kind of looks like A, B, and the 3 comes forth. And this can be someone's first name or the last name, or this can also be the people that are watching you from down below. You're standing up and you're going to take some action. You're going to do something that will really, the energy field, your energy field is covering these people. Can be family members, it's going to be affecting them. You can see slightly there's a tears of joy, some good news coming, and then the pathway opening here. But this good news are something that you don't know if they're coming or not at this time. It seems like here this is something still in the works, maybe like in divinely it is a lot like it's being like winding down into your way, and then the pathway will open for you. Okay, I told you that you are maybe guiding some people, or you are doing your own thing, and this is illuminating some people. Can be teaching work, or maybe you are a teacher and you're teaching children and you're wondering if they're getting anything. It seems like a lot of them are getting it. A lot of them are benefiting from what you're putting out there. The thing is, there's some doubt. However, I feel like this doubt is going to be wiped out slowly. And the thing is, you're right here starting to climb stairs here. There's a person's face as a stair here too. So this doesn't mean that you're stepping on the head of someone in order to get somewhere in a negative sense. I feel like here this person is allowing their energy or their references or their information that you need. They're giving it to you, and you're very gently and respectfully actually rising to like using their energy to step up higher. I see some phone lines forming here throughout the week. You might be having on the phone, talking to people, connecting, coming face to face to analyze certain things, or maybe even gathering information to use on the level that you're getting higher. The stairs that you're climbing might require that. And also I see number 3 here. The things indicate maybe this thing is going to require some creative approach to it as well. I see here there's a character, maybe on, we can say Wednesday. They're sitting on like on a little pillow, and they have a pen and paper. I see like a ponytail behind them, and their eyes are wide open, either reading a paper or reading like from a tablet or writing something down, but their eyes are wide open. So the bunnies can be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And this can be Queen of Pentacles energy. I feel a feminine energy here. Someone who has a lot of resources, and they are maybe doing some researches. They're trying to find something, and that's why they're really carefully or they're trying to provide gather up resources to use it. Okay, it can be your energy. You can embody the energies of other signs, or maybe you are an earth sign. Or this can also be someone that you're climbing up the stairs, I told you, and then you're going to actually give this person some information, and they're going to take care of the rest of the stuff for you. Another thing I see here, there's the letter V coming up, which is a massive victory towards the Friday. Maybe some of you are going to receive some good news, some victorious results, and that can be symbolizing that. And after that, I see on the weekend, I told you there's a celebration happening. So maybe you're going to achieve some positive outcome during the week after you do your work. And I see that you're standing here tall. I see letter A too. For some of you, this doesn't have to be specifically getting a paper, doing a research and applying it, and also submitting paper, getting approval. It can be something like that. However, it can also indicate that you're climbing up the stairs for a long time now. This can be like a emotional scale, energetic scale, financial scale. You are making progress. Maybe you don't really realize because this is happening day to day, like incrementally. But it seems like here towards the end of this week, maybe you don't even recognize it, because I see that you're really minding your own business still. Somebody's going to recognize that there is a big gap here, that you actually leaped further, jumped of this gap, closed the gap already. Okay, this person, somebody's going to recognize that, and they might be even throwing a party here for you, or showing you that, okay, this is something that you deserve, this is yours, and then you're celebrating it with them. Another thing I caught here is this person is looking at like a diamond ring, a masculine figure. For some of you, maybe you're planning, you're contemplating, should I propose, or maybe you are waiting for the proposal to come. I see letter B here, can be in someone's first name or the last name. It kind of forms like a mountaintop as well. So like in a joyous moment, I see the women here too, like a feminine and masculine. There's maybe even some distance between you and this person, physical distance, not like mental. Seems like the masculine side is contemplating about the ring. He's not really touching the ring. He's not grabbing the ring. He's looking at the ring. Maybe somebody's actually looking for a commitment or wants to have a commitment, but they didn't find the perfect ring. And it can be also coming to you. Another thing with the ring, it indicates commitment, yes. And it can be the commitment of like a business or a contract, or buying a new home. It seems like here you might be the one who's going to make the offer. That's why you are looking at the ring. You're looking at the pricing. Maybe you're trying to gather up your resources. And that can be another thing here when the celebration is happening. Many heads, people, and family, and supportive chosen families might be gathering up together. Maybe they have in their plan to support you when they show up, okay? Another thing I see here, there's a man who's wearing a hat. The hat has two massive antlers, and there's a woman here. She's wearing a top hat, and she has a bird on top of her head. Antlers can symbolize actually the fertility of the masculine energy, and the hat that she's wearing, the bird, symbolizes that this person maybe has deep connections, and they can really use that bird and send it out there, and the message will be received by many. And so this can be coming together to make a business. During the weekend, you might be meeting this couple. This can be as a couple, or maybe you are one of the parties here. You have the growth energy, you have the antlers, the authority, and maybe you just need someone to distribute that. Now I'm thinking maybe this is like a book, because I said the distribution, the word came forth. Maybe you have an idea of a book or a movie or something that can really reach to many here, but you just need to match up with the right energy to really support you, okay? Another thing I see here, there are 3 pathways opening towards the, again, end of the weekend. And I told you there's one outside of your comfort zone opening, and there's a chunk of money there. So this all chunk of money can be support, something that you need, someone owes you something. It can be any of those things and maybe even more or extra. And it seems like it's outside your comfort zone. Someone might actually like invite you over to a place to give it to you, or maybe your path is going to cross from an area that you'll find. This can even be a gem. I said gem, but doesn't have to be material like a gem. It can be like a very valuable item that you're finding in a garage sale. Okay, I heard in the past people even found like Andy Warhol drawings in garage sales for $1. So it can be something like that as well. So if you're being guided, your intuition, your instinct is calling you to go to a certain place or pass through this road, go ahead and take a leap of faith, because it seems like it's guiding you towards a certain direction. There are 3 other pathways also showing up here. This can be walking pathways. These can be also communication pathways. Some people might be waiting for you to call them. Okay, like actually there's thought transmission is real. If someone that you haven't seen for a while keeps popping in your head, probably they're thinking about you, okay? And if you're still good with them, maybe it's time to give them a call. I also see a key here. This kind of shows up a key, like a rose as well. Now I look at it, many shapes are showing up. This can be like your heart's desires unlocking for you. Let's dive into the saucer now. If you have a specific question, a desire, and intention, hold it in your mind. I see a man and women hugging, okay? And masculine and feminine in a balanced relationship. This can be romantic love coming in and someone really confessing their love, or maybe you're the masculine side. Your desire coming slowly but surely. Maybe you're the masculine side, you want to confess something, but there was a distance between you and this person. I feel there's a touching scene here. So like a physical touch is going to be there. You're surrounded by a lot of fire here. Some of them are people, some of them are fire. I see letter H here, like heat. So fire can be passion. Maybe these two, you have really high passion towards each other. The lady has a daughter, maybe, or like a girl above their head, someone watching them, maybe a sister. This can be like a family member, and there's a child in between. Okay, this doesn't mean that this person and you have a child. This can be like the other part, you maybe have a child, or the other person might have a child. Another thing with the child's energy, maybe you already have a feeling like a love, lust, or passion towards each other, and that's the baby, that's the child now, and the growth of it and maturing that is going to be a 2-side road. Either of you needs to participate in that. I see that your energy field is intact, and maybe within the middle of the week you are really expanding outside, thinking outside your comfort zone. And also in the end of the week, I told you there's like a physical road coming up outside of a comfort zone, and there's also, you are really expanding out there. I see someone here with a feather on top of their head. This can be a wise person that is knowledgeable. Feather is used for writing things down. This person might have very valuable information for you, and it seems like you're not really unaware of that. You're going to catch up with the information this person is going to offer you, and it seems like here there's an expansion coming in. So what happens is sometimes our subconscious doesn't like to take us out of our comfort zone. That's why every time you start to do something differently, earn something a little bit more than you usually do, or talk to a person that you're interested in, it might be pulling you back. You see the walls like a strong, and then you're coming out there and then it's building again. So maybe something positive happening and then negative happening. You're getting back, shrinking back into your zone. But it seems like if you keep at it, keep trying, and you're going to really expand a lot out of this zone here. But you need to keep at it, okay? And I'm going to dive into the tarot now. Let's see, first of all, what's coming your way, okay? Okay, Ten of Pentacles. I love that. I love to see it. Ten of Pentacles is long-term financial security and stability for yourself and your family, creating a legacy. There is very much to be grateful for. You're gonna, even if you don't have it right now, you will have very soon a lot of material wealth and also love to be grateful for. Financial success and the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. So Ten of Pentacles is not only about getting materialistically successful financially on a high position, but also it is going to be something affecting the family, your legacy. Okay, for a long term, they're all going to get affected by this beautiful thing. What's leaving your life? We have, okay, this is actually Sagittarius, this is Temperance energy. It says solutions here. So maybe you haven't, like I told you, that you have been held back by an invisible wall, a glass ceiling for a long time now. And it's about like I'm balancing things out, balancing the budget, and I earn enough, but not in more than enough to do the things that the things that you deem luxurious to do those things, or travel the world. Whatever it is that kept you in like a very small imbalanced situation of moderation, it seems like that's what's leaving now. So there's a better and bigger expansion coming forth. I'm assuming with this can be also love as well as material success, okay? Success that comes from objective compromise. So I feel like here that's what it is. Temperance energy is compromise. You have been compromising for a while now. Self-control and patience and forgiving and healing. You have been recovering from some things. And that's what is left behind. You're not going to be dealing with that shrinking yourself so you can get by energy anymore. Okay? Let's see what else we have here. What's coming your way? Financial security. What's leaving is moderation. And we have also Seven of Michaels here indicates Seven of Swords. And this can be, Seven of Swords can indicate two things. That this can be coming as an advice, that being tactical. Because we see in the original tarot, there is a man actually stealing the swords before the war. Some interpret that as, it depends on your situation, lying, stealing, cheating, someone actually doing things behind your back. But this can also indicate that taking the swords away so you can actually diffuse the war without bloodshed. So tactical advantages here. But the thing is, when you look at this card, you are seeing things from a darker perspective. Maybe you are like this moderation period maybe puts you in the idea of that I need to hold back. I cannot fully do what I want to do. I need to take the darker road. There's no other way. And this is actually suggesting there's a brighter pathway that you can take. You don't have to do anything with tactical advantage with a negative feeling to it. Okay. There is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. So review all details very carefully and also ask for guidance, ask for help from the useful people, because they're going to show up to show you or find, if you're not seeing it, they can maybe see it from a different perspective, that there's a better way available to you right now. Finally, I have here Queen of Raphael. This can be a person, someone gentle, kind-hearted, understanding, giving. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It says psychic as well. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, they have heightened intuition. Another thing here, you can have this as your another sun, moon, rising, or Venus, or maybe another planet side. You can have that. What happens is this can actually give you insights of, okay, there's something better available to me now. Let me choose that one, that kinder road. And this is suggesting in that case you should be following your heart, love of home and family, which is also showing up here, trustworthy psychic information. So you might get some psychic intuitive nudges that will lead you towards the right direction here. So it's good to have that meditation or prayer practice. And I have all of them. I have all kinds of practices because I don't limit myself with one belief system. So like you can also like uncover all of them and whichever one suits you better and follow that practice. Okay, because psychic, if you're not like a born and carrying the spirit of Buddha or someone wise, we all need to develop our psychic skills. It's a skill. Okay, it's like the sixth sense. So it seems like here you are improving that, and you're finding a way to improve that so you can see the better way around. Let's see what's coming your way. I told you 10 of Pentacles comes with a 10 of Wands. This is actually suggesting that this is coming as an advice. You're carrying everything on your back. That's why the progress might be slow. This might require, yes, you're creating a legacy. Maybe you're working on a massive project that can feed you and your generations in the future, but you are carrying everything on your back. Now it's time to ask for some people's help, and I have here the Hangman, and I feel like here, first though, before taking massive action, first pause and reflect. Okay, who can you trust maybe to invite in your business? Who can you work together with? There's an enlightenment coming to you. Maybe there's a person in your life that can help you, but you need to really direct them in the right direction. They cannot just jump in and take the charge like you do. Okay, so there's a perspective change necessary here. You need to pause, reflect, and connect with your higher energies, and then get the results. I have another 10 here, so this can be also coming to you to tell you that there's also, this is actually belonging here, I feel like, because it's just similar to what's leaving your life. What's leaving is moderation, but it can be leaving in a dramatic way. Maybe you are limiting yourself, keeping yourself in a box for a while now, because you're thinking it is like, if I spend too much, or this doesn't have to be limited to spending. This can be expansion about your business, your friendships, maybe your relationship. Maybe you're thinking, I need to keep it moderate. I need to be patient with them. But it seems like there's a blow up coming here. Maybe you've been patient with someone for so long in the relationship, and you have been trying to balance things out. Now it's like up to here. There's a word, I don't know if there's in English. In my language, it's like we show the top of our heads and we say it's up to here. Like, I'm filled with frustration, basically. That's what it means. And I feel like that's actually going to come in this format of you saying, you know what, the sun is shining on the background. I'm going to move towards there. I'm putting an end to this situation. We're resetting the cycle, and we're going to start anew. Okay, that's the attitude I feel here. I want to pull one more here. Okay, what's behind this? There's overall here a scarcity mindset. Even though wealth is coming, moderation is coming to an end, there's scarcity mindset. That's why maybe you have been in the same position and you're trying to balance things out for a while now. But the Fool energy is the new beginning. So what's coming your way is wealth, abundance, resources, help, and reflection change, understanding how certain things are working out. You're letting go of being patient with the people that you don't want to be patient anymore. And if you're fearful of them, you're realizing that this is just some unfounded fear, and realizing and letting it go and resetting and starting anew. And the Fool is going to a new journey, but you have been there before. You see the sleeves here, they're tethered. That means that you've been there, you've seen that, you have experience. This is not your first rodeo. So you're going to actually this time around play it very good. You're going to be very successful. And further guidance we have here, tactics are important, we said, but when you're being tactical, you might not be seeing the brighter pathway. The Magician energy, when you start embodying, I can do anything good, and I have all the things necessary at this moment. I don't need to have anything extra. Or like, for example, I experienced with this in the past with some people. They want to launch a business and they keep overanalyzing things. I have to have this, I have to have that. In order to make music, I have to have the best guitar. The thing is though, I heard from one of the musicians of Nirvana, and he said that they were actually picking up for Kurt Cobain. He was a left-handed, and they were picking up from thrift stores and stuff. And because every time they make a new music, he wanted a new guitar, and they were picking those up from like thrift stores and like pawn shops and stuff, and like so he can get inspired to write new music. So he wasn't going out there and getting the most expensive, the rose handle, rose carved, whatever, that rose bush, or that kind of things. He was actually using those kind of guitars. So it's about using whatever is available to you, because you are the talent. The guitar doesn't make the music. You make the music, okay? And so that's how you're going to see the better way around, better pathway, better options, when you recognize you are the one. The Queen of Raphael, we have with the Tower here. Okay, so the psychic information coming to you because there's a system crumbling down, and the system, I feel like this is Scorpio energy. If you have Scorpio, this can be someone, a psychic person that you're getting information, a Scorpio lady maybe, is crumbling down. It can be maybe they are collapsing into, like, their information is not really certain for you. But another thing here, because this is a gentle attitude, that's a gentle heart here, they might be sensing something is crumbling down, and from that you're going to actually born anew, or you're going to find an option for you that is going to really rise you to the top in the best way possible. So it seems like here their loss is going to be your gain, somebody else's loss, or a system not working properly is going to be your gain. So all you need to do is actually just decide what's happening here that is holding you back, what you're fearful of, and go straight at it, because the fear comes from most of the time from lack of information. Okay, we're fearful about certain things because we don't know what's behind the veil. But it seems like here the sun is shining on the background, and you're gonna have the power to open up the veil and see what's behind it this time. Okay, let's pull your chakra colors. So this can be a power, can be helpful for you to use. You can utilize that energy center to pull that into your life, which we have compassion, Queen of Raphael's energy. So you can be compassionate when somebody's tower is crumbling down. That can be you being compassionate towards them, and which can bring your wish fulfillment to you. Okay, let's see. You have here a chant called Yam. Air element can be also a person, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, like using the justice energy, for example. And compassion. I see all things through eyes of love in my heart. I find compassion and understanding for those who are struggling and misaligned with themselves, their higher wisdom and purpose. I'm kind and compassionate with myself and others, and forgive myself for my judgments. I'm compassionate. So I feel like here, while you are reinventing yourself, you're going to meet some along the way. Tower moment, I told you, it can be Scorpio. We have 9 of swords here, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Some over analyzing, maybe some are over analyzing situation and creating this kind of like tension in the moment and stressing you out as well. That's why you're seeing the darker pathway. This is actually telling you to see this situation with compassion and understand where they're coming from, but do not go their way. Do not go their way. You are the magician here. You make your own way, okay? Let's pull your angel of assistance this time. We have Shamael. Definitely new beginnings are coming your way, guys. I felt it overall in the energy here. I know this is for the next 7 days, but I feel like here the cards are, that's why I said like the cards are much more clarifying. That's like cup tells us the story. This tells us like what's behind the story. So it seems like here some of you are going to really set to a new direction, a new adventure. That's why it's time is be compassionate with what's happening rather than reactive, and also like go with the joy. Okay, we have beginnings here. Extraordinary new opportunities are dawning for you, drawing you to new people and new places and new projects. Shamael wishes to lovingly assist you, and as anxiety often precedes change, asks you to call upon the mighty of all the angels of Atlantis to help. Okay, so that's another thing that you need to know. Angels, because human beings have free will, angels cannot intervene if you don't ask for help. So unless it's like an emergency situation, and this is actually Dolores Cannon teaching. And so if you ask for help during this new beginning timeline, Angel, Shamael, and the others will show up for you. Before this fruitfully occurs, it may be appropriate for you to release old projects, old patterns, old of behavior, old ideas, or old acquaintances, which that's why the hangman showed up here, okay? So it wants you to let go of the old, see the new as a time to be met by the sun of the source with renewed vigor and well-being, just as you greet the new dawn, new day with love, hope, and joy, okay? You can also, it says, use the Gayatri mantra here, Om Bhurbuva Shava, the beginnings of the famous Gayatri mantra, okay? All right, beautifuls, that's all for today. I would like to thank you for joining me, and I wish you a magical day. Bye. Hey, beautiful, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.